Hi team, Chris here, Serious Cricket, retail manager. I've come with a bit of a different message today, along the same sort of lines within the sport, but something a little bit more personal. So the news is I'm going to run the London Marathon in about just over a month's time. You can sort of see the dread on my face probably. And I've decided to run for a number of reasons, to be honest. I've run now for a good 10 years or so. I've never really been classed myself as a runner, but I've sort of fallen into it as I've played less team sport and found that I do a lot of it. And it would seem like a natural progression to do something with it rather than just keep pounding the streets. So I thought I'd do something for me, but also something for trying to generate a little bit of marketing and a little bit of exposure for a charity. So a couple of reasons why, but now we're getting closer to it. I'm starting to question those reasons. I'm only joking, but it really has been a sort of a long haul, and I'll be really happy when we get to another month time when we're actually doing it. I decided to raise money as part of my marathon campaign for a charity called the Lord's Taverners. For those of you that are a cricket background or a sports background, I'm sure you've come across them. Fantastic charity that does a huge amount of good within local communities. As the name suggests, the Lord's Taverners was created and came out of a meeting at the Lord's Tavern back in the 1950s, and as a charity has developed from there to work across the UK and support young people and adults who have challenging backgrounds and challenging issues. Whether that be sort of areas of deprivation, they've got some disabilities that sort of struggle. Means they struggle to take part in mainstream sports. And the Lord's Taverners are there to offer access into sport in a really positive manner. So it was a fantastic charity to work alongside with some previous work that I've done, and something that when I sat down and thought about this, I really thought it's an opportunity for me to do my bit to give back to the game and to the sport, and the Taverners is a fantastic way of doing that. So I specifically chose the Lord's Taverners because of that cricket theme, really. There's some fantastic charities out there, and as you would have seen across the years on the London Marathon, the amount of people doing it and the amazing charities that they're raising money for. But for me, it was a real motivator to choose one that I felt that I had some close ties with. Like I say, I've worked alongside the Taverners previously in different roles, and that was important for me as a motivator, to get out the front door, to do the training, to keep persevering through all the weather. It sounds very cliche, but knowing that you're going to make a difference to people really spurs you on. And the charity themselves do, like I said before, fantastic work in terms of supporting local communities, and it's really important work because, as we know, times have been challenging and the opportunities sometimes are a real challenge to get to, and charities like the Taverners really make a difference. So knowing that every pound that I raise goes to that contributes to that sort of opportunity is something that really motivates me to keep going. And we're in the final push now, and it really motivates me to get on the start line and hopefully the finish line. Training has been ongoing for a long time now. It sounds again a little bit cliche, but I guess I've been in training for a long time, sort of 10 years I've been running. For about 8 of those I didn't really class myself as a runner, I just did it to keep fit, to try and keep active. So I guess probably just over the last 18 months it's been on my radar as something I wanted to do, and probably for the last 12 months I've been working towards it. The first 6 was just about trying to build some fundamental block of fitness and endurance, and I would say probably at the turn of the year, in that January block, it was starting to ramp up the miles and ramp up the long runs. Sunday morning is my long run mornings, and they've got longer, harder, further and more painful with everyone. The last one to date, which we are sort of 5 or 6 weeks out from the marathon, was just over 20 miles, 22 miles. And that's good. You know, I feel in a decent place at the moment. It's all a first for me. I've never run a marathon. These are the furthest distances I've ever run, so it's all a learning curve. And so far, touch wood, training is going okay. Thankfully, no major injuries, a few little niggles, but that's to be expected. So as long as that continues, I'm hopeful that I'll hit the finishing line. Let's leave it at that. I'm feeling quite positive about the marathon at the moment. I'll be honest, it hasn't always felt like that. Through the training blocks, particularly pre-Christmas, I felt like I was a little bit of the imposter syndrome kind of kicked in. Probably not for me, I'm really going to struggle, might embarrass myself, all those sort of thoughts, and they're still there, but I've managed to dampen them. And training helps that, and just being able to kind of clock off the miles and clock off the sort of the positive sort of thoughts with that has helped. So at the moment I'm feeling pretty good and pretty positive about it. I'm hopeful that I will be hitting the start line with a bit of confidence. I'm very conscious it's going to be very difficult, but I'm really excited about completing a marathon. I've heard fantastic things about the London crowd and the adrenaline and the goodwill that's offered around the circuit. So I'm just really excited to experience all of that for the first time. Maybe ask me that question at mile 17, 18, and I might have a slightly different answer for you, but let's see. I'm raising money for the Lord's Taverners charity, and it would be amazing if any of you would be able to offer a little donation. £15 is what it costs to set up an all-inclusive session with a coach for young people and for people with challenging backgrounds and issues. And so your money potentially that you could offer would go a huge distance to supporting that. We'll put the link up, so there's a link there to my Just Giving page or my sort of donation page. Have a look at that, click into that, and it's a really simple process. So hopefully somebody will recognise this as a great opportunity to support a great charity, and I'm so thankful if you do offer that support. Really happy to also say that anyone that does offer a donation between this video going live and April the 8th will be entered into a prize draw to win a short-handled cricket bat from Gray Nichols worth up to £350. So not only was that sort of a thank you from me personally, but we're also going to put you into that prize draw to offer that real thank you for one of you to win a prize. So have a look at the link, click through, information will be on our site as well. And if you've got any sort of questions around that, please sort of drop me a line or what have you. But just in advance, if you can support, thank you, really appreciate it.